Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to do a small little walkthrough of my Minecraft world. You know, just show it off and do everything that I just want to show off everything I want. I'll turn on shaders so it looks better for the camera, but this is going to be completely unedited and just overall my world. I'm going to mostly be walking through it. Oh boy, that's foggy. It's probably better for me to just disable or just put on a different one. But yeah, I just want to do a little walkthrough of my world. My buddy says that I'm horrible at building, and I just want to show off some of the builds that I really love. And for the most part, this is my first ever village. This is where I'm going to be starting. This isn't like any of my actual homes or all that near. It's just something I want to show off. All the random blocks just around, but I'll show you. These are the two towers I've built. I really wanted that one to be more of like a Japanese style, and that one to be more of a. I don't even know what that was. I just know it looks bad. They aren't really meant to be seen up close. That's just a little tower that I made, for like elytra building, a little failed castle, and out that way, you could probably see it just off in the veer distance. That's a little like flower garden. It's nothing too serious, but I'll fly over here. This is a tiny little rail cart that I used to move around through my original base and the village. Some crappy bridge I built. That is a little area in a mountain that there's nothing really in there except for like the dragon egg when I killed the ender dragon. Here is a little thing I like to call I guess some kind of temple. I try to make lore throughout my world, and that's supposed to be like a temple. Don't worry about this for right now. And that's the other temple, light and dark, I like to call them. But this is supposed to be a meteor that crashed into my world. Like I said, I love to build lore around everything here. This is like a little forge area. As you can see, I tried just to make this really cool Japanese aesthetic. The build's not really all that good. Here is my first ever, like, home, I guess. This is where it mostly started. I'll give you a little tour of it. Just one of the many places I've been. First nether portal. I don't know what this was supposed to be. This was actually supposed to be a dog pen for the dogs that I keep in this. You can see here's the main entrance. Here's just a whole bunch of mismatched blocks. Here is originally the bed. This is very unorganized chest. Bed here. This was originally supposed to be an enchanting room. You can see by the lapis lazuli, and I just sort of moved it. That's a old mob farm that I have. I always thought it didn't really do too well. I just sort of like to build it. This is a really terrible um seaweed farm that I made. This is a smithing. Well, not smithing. It's basically just a big old furnace room. I just keep furnaces in here. It's very old. I never use it anymore. Um, cow pen. Odd tower off in the distance. And this right here is technically my first ever home. Yeah, as you can see, it's just some little crappy build. First build you make, really. Uh, this, I don't know what this was supposed to be. Just some sort of like, end altar. Big old tower up there. And this is something I also like. It's crappy, I know. It's very bad. But this is supposed to be an archery tower that I made whenever I was like trying to scout out for creepers or something real quick. And this is a tower that I keep my mending villager in. It's just one giant, just like ruined tower. This is where he sleeps. This is an old dog of mine. Um, and up here I said the mending villager. See, I like to collect books for him. I just feel like he just likes to read in his spare time. But yeah, this is where I keep my mending villager. The lore of this area is that this was once like a really tall up tower, like up to max build limit, and that meteor down there is what cut the rest of it off. And down here, I'll get to it. I'm trying to not edit this, but it's a little slow. But down here is my second home. I just sort of built it just out of stuff. This is the actual one that I've worked on. As you can see, just a Japanese style house. It has a front entrance up here. This was my bed. Just random stuff, music area. Little storage chamber down here. Didn't really keep much. Random gear, natural stuff, spare blocks, and like dirt and stuff. Building blocks, you know, just stuff like that. And over here was just like a tiny little dock that I made. Here's like a big old garden. I'll get over there in a little bit. But, over here is this is a little bridge I made. I'm actually kind of proud of it. It was my first ever bridge that I technically built. That's supposed to be like a failed sugarcane farm. Don't mind that. But, this is my enchanting tower, I like to call it. It's just a little thing where I keep all my enchanting books. Bamboo ceiling over there. And this was supposed to be like a castle or something, but I just sort of quit, made a coliseum. Tiny crappy farmhouse that I made. Like, I made this a while ago, like hundreds of days after I started all this. Alright, here is a little sand house that I made. Just a little tiny sand pit. Nothing really much about it. Here's my blue house. Right here, I never moved it. I just had a challenge from one of my buddies to build an all blue house, and well, it's not all blue, it's mostly blue, and I kind of like it. Here's a little like dock. The lore of this one is that this is where like all of the travelers from different biomes and different regions of the world come and meet and trade. Henceforth, all of the little different kinds of wood boats here. And then here's the big boat, which isn't really all that good, but it's holding a lot of goods. Jump! There we go. And I want to go over here. Over here. Here's a little tiny house. I just really love to build houses. This is all just my little forest. There wasn't a single tree here whenever I first moved. Here's my little horse pen. I don't know what happened to all my horses. There used to be like 10. Here's a little castle that I made. Chicken farm with mob. I just need something. Another bridge that I really love. Just basic nether portal, bamboo farm, all of my crops. And this is where I live. I'll show you the inside of it. Little smithing area right here. Here's Hare. He is my chicken. I really love that chicken. Storage room, just mountains and mountains of just cleared out areas, chests. I haven't really gotten to filling up this since I don't really go out and farm for resources that much. This is a old, like, railway track that I used to get to from over there to over here. This is a little fire pit. I tried to make a little skull. This is a little snowman that I get snow from. And over here, down this really, really long hallway, is my bedroom. It's a single bed. There was supposed to be a cat here, but I don't know where he went. It's just a little tiny room, yeah, with a small ocean view. Well, I guess it's not ocean view. It's just like a little, just a tiny, really tiny area. This is a forge room that I made. Just some random stuff. Enchanting books. An old, what are they called? Crossbow, that's their names. Crossbow, a little bit of iron. Um, Nothing much over here. Old sealed off mine. This is where I keep my dogs at. Princess and Pretzel after my real dogs. Then all the way down here, we have my, like, tools and stuff. This is supposed to be filled up. I kind of took off the armor at some point. Don't know what this is for. Where I keep my ores, all my weapons and stuff. Really unorganized, I know. It's just like combat over there. And all my armors and stuff. I really love that. And all the way down here, I have actually think I have 2 bedrooms. I think I sealed this one off somehow. I just sealed this off so that here wouldn't go all the way down to the vines and die, of course. And here is my very old bedroom, little aquatic area. There was like puffer fish in here at some point, but they just kind of all left. This is where I kept to see if like it was day or night out. All just random chests that I kept down here. Old, just thing that I mined down and patched up over the days. That was stupid. That was a waste of a rocket, but this is the current place that I'm staying. I really like it. I love underground areas. I swear, I love it. They're just so fun to do. You don't have to worry about exteriors. You can just mine it and work around it. And here is the village area. This is towards my village. This is supposed to be like an archery and training area. Ooh, I forgot to talk about this. My beacon, my pig pen. This is just full of pigs, as I said. And this is my giant AFK island that I made. I try if I can get up there and don't fall to my death. This is just a little AFK island that I made. I love the way that I decorated it. I can just go down here, then just come out whenever I want. Little in the lake area, it was kind of a pain to get and make, but it was still pretty fun. Over here, this is a very old iron farm that I made. I like it. Okay, so the way it got messed up was I was building a base all the way back. Well, not base, just a building all the way down there. And I set to peaceful. And since I keep my simulation distance up so high, it just removed the zombie and none of them could spawn and the villagers died somehow or well, I guess they can't despawn, but this is my little hut. My little hut that I make for brewing potions. I love it. I know I'm saying I love it a lot, but I truly do love my world that I've made. A bamboo farm right here. And here is a old brick and sand area. Well, not area, just building that I made. I had a ghast here, a happy ghast, but I killed it for the Uneasy Alliance achievement. I know it's bad. I didn't know what I was thinking at the time. A little hobbit area that I made. It's not all that good. A little crane. Just a very excavated, just tunnel. I really wanted this to be like realistic and such. But all the way up here, I'll show you. This was supposed to be a place for making banners, but it didn't go out too well. A crappy tower that I made. I just kind of placed random blocks. It was fun to make, but it wasn't all that good. A Japanese, like, dojo or whatever. And this is like my futuristic giant tree tower. I like it. Oh, there's one of my horses. But I'm over off this way. I'm gonna walk down here and just make a long walk. But this is like a little food storage and like grocery store that I have. You know, like a little gas station. I like it. I walk down here and if you could see, there is a little, yeah, just a tiny little cabin that I made. I know it doesn't look good, but that was the whole point of it. I wanted it to have some kind of like really old cabin, old shack style to it. It was cool to make. And fun fact about this huge bridge right here, I wanted to make it over here to this island, but I sort of miscalculated and went to the mainland over there. So I just built this little area. It's got a tiny little farm on it. Little sugarcane area right here. It was fun to make. I mean, it's a crappy house, but I'm never going to redo these ever. And when I say never, I mean never. I love the really just bad, awful buildings that you make in your world. It just gives it like this charm, you know? Here's a traveler's tent. I got this off the internet. I don't know who made it, but I, whoever did it, I like it. Here's another crappy house I made. I remember I was listening to like internet, like Reddit threads, horror stories, you know, those things on YouTube. I remember it specifically. It was about like these people were on a trail and they were getting like hunted by a skinwalker. I don't remember all of it, but it was pretty cool. Here is also a little, just a cool farming lake house that I thought was cool to make. It's got a chimney, it's got like all these decorations and a farm. I thought it was cool. Whenever I was building this, I remember I was listening to a Mr. Ballin video, which I thought was, it was a pretty cool video. Here's a little landing pad that I made specifically whenever I first got my Elytra, so that I could safely land here. And here's like the little light indicator and a little airstrip. I cleared this all out so I could make most of the builds here. This is like a little sea boat or whatever. I don't know. I was just sort of freestyling here. It doesn't look good, but it's okay. I also, over here you can see, I don't know, I just have like a sudden urge to make like abandoned houses and stuff. It was super cool. I know I'm saying cool a lot, but I really do love this world that I've made. And down here, I like to make these paths all throughout my world, just to connect it all. And here is a like little mine shaft that I made. It's not all that special. It's not all that good, but I love it personally. And down here, if you just keep on going through this little Red Riding Hood walk that I like to call it, you have this area. And the lore for this bridge in specific is that a whole bunch of people thought that there was like gold and stuff. And traveling was very unsafe since, you know, it was over water and they had to build their own tiny bridge. And then this was made in by a whole bunch of other people to make travel safer. And here you have Lou Blue's Rat Shack. I don't know what I was thinking whenever I made this. I just made it. It's just a tiny little hut, cheap to make. Oh, and this, right up here, I also got this build off the internet. I know, I'm not all that original. I like to copy instead of create. But this is sort of like an older little house. It's just sort of overgrown, not really all that kept well. Chimney, little building area, and just like stuff hanging off the side. I thought it was really cozy to make. And here's like this little apartment or hotel building I was making. I remember I was listening to a video about like all these different Trevor Henderson entities, if you know what those are, my little nerd self. And I just felt like making this. And I thought it was cool. You know, you have like 1 room, 2 room, and a 3 room, just like a little staying area. It was meant to, like I said in the story, it was meant to accompany the people that were coming over and settling down here. And it's just sort of like a little modern area. I think it's cool. Little bamboo shack that I made. And up here is like a little cozy cabin that I made. Like a little fishing cabin. Right here, as you can see. Just you can tell the theme here. I like older, more overdone, ruined builds than I do like more modern. I think I showed. No, did I finish showing all the build I made over here for like whenever I was around the village. I don't remember doing it, but I'll come back around to it later once I get finished showing off these builds. Here's a little you know, just a tiny little village. I kind of just took their people for an iron farm. I know, bad, but everybody does it. I need to sleep here real quick. you know, just stuff I really love to build and just make. I always think that's like the best part of every Minecraft world is you have an endless possibility of things to do. And it's just so fun to make and so fun just to do. Here's a little spruce tree. Here's an awful, and I mean horrid attempt at making a windmill. Tiny little house. I like little houses. This is supposed to be like a lake house built on stilts. Not all that good, but I love it. And over here, up here, this is my little cherry blossom. Most of like these big old forests that you see here, they're all made by me. None of it was here whenever I first made it. But here is a little house, just a little pink house that I made. It's meant for like dyes and stuff, but I kind of just keep it around for just random things. One of my favorite. Okay, I have some lore for this. Some lore. So you know that giant meteorite that I was talking about in the beginning? Well, there was this big catastrophic event that was happening in the world, and there was a mech suit, right? And there's this giant monster, and this guy in a giant mech suit made like like I said, mech suit to fight this giant robot, and this was a huge arm that was made to fight it. But once the like every story, the hero slays the giant monster. A giant meteor came down, and while his arm was up in the air, it struck down and severed the arm on the mech suit. But that's the lore of it. And that's why it looks all charred up and gray and stuff. This is like a little altar that I made. A castle. Just a basic little castle with a tiny house in it. Here's another bamboo house. This was actually one of the first bamboo houses that I made. Even though I've only made two. I love bamboo houses. They're so cool to me. A little villager outpost that I have. And this, you know how I said that in the lore of the world, there was this giant mech suit and this monster and huge meteor. Well, whenever the monster was slayed, there were like all of these giant. This is just the lore of the world. This didn't like actually happen. It's not role play or any corny crap like that. But there was this like catastrophic. Well, not this catastrophic. Worlds began to bend and morph together, and this is one of the things that spawned in. Another thing that spawned in was this. I am really proud of this build that I made. This is a little solar system and like a ship that I made. The lore of this was that the planets were supposed to be bigger, but since they warped into this world, they got smaller, like on a much smaller scale. Yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of speechless. It's really hard to explain. You gotta remember, I've been playing this game for hundreds and hundreds of hours. Here's a little house that I made. It was supposed to encamp like a villager, but that didn't really go off too well. Here's just a little shrine I made. This is my attempt at making a Leaning Tower of Pisa type build. It's not all that good, like most of the builds, but I tried. I tried really hard making this. But here's something that I did try really hard on, and I think it came out pretty well. It's another build that I took inspiration from the internet out on builds that I saw, and I made this, which I thought was super cool. Here are these. Do y'all know that like I don't know how to explain it. You know those rocks? I don't know where they're from, but they're supposedly supposed to be like these ancient rocks somewhere in the real world. I just sort of tried to remake that. This doesn't really coincide with like the lore of the world. I just really want to make it. Same with this like really weird tower I made. It's not all that good. I just sort of smack some blocks together and see what comes out. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna show y'all Southern accent. I'm gonna show y'all the other stuff that I made. This is a like uh I've lost my words. A gunpowder farm for my world. But anyway, I was coming over here. This is a little few. This is more like a modern, expensive house type thing that I tried to make. I thought it was cool. I don't know how other people on the internet will see that, but I thought it was cool. And here's a little thing I built, some more thing that I smacked some blocks together. And the lore of this build was that there was this king, right? Right? He was a tyrant, and he ruled over that village over there. And because he was such a tyrant, he killed a lot of people. Sorry, it gets kind of deep. Uh, for YouTube censorship, offed. There we go. He offed a villager, and they decided to burn down part of his castle or whatever, his area they lived in. And that was the tower that he lived in, and he kind of got scorched up and offed. YouTube censorship would have it. Here's another build that I made. I just really wanted to build like a glass house, sort of. Mostly glass. Here's a really crappy build I made. I don't know why I made it. I just did. Nothing special. And here is another build. I'll get back to these later. Here's another build. This is just supposed to be a ship. It's just a random ship that came. A little boarding dock. Yeah, the whole thing is that it's just a mysterious ship from like a really far off land. And that flag, nobody can tell if it's just a red-faced dude with a long nose or a hammer. So they have a lot of time identifying the hard time identifying the ship. Here's a little tower I make. I really love to make towers. They're hard to make, but whenever you get it right, they're so good. They're so good looking. Here's a little house I made. It's just whatever. I had a ton of stone and brick to use, so I just made this. It's another build that I got inspiration from the internet from. If I knew what to look up, I'd show it, but I don't know. Little village. I mean, not not a village. It's a bridge. And right here is a dock that goes all the way down here to my mine. Here, all the way to my mine. And I'll show you. There are builds down here. The whole lore of it is that there's like these people, and this is the mine that they work on and they live in, and they provide resources to the rest of the world, while the rest of the world provides food. And this is just tiny. I'm trying to work more on it. I want to make an underground city. This is the best I've gotten at it. Just a whole bunch of torches and stuff. Little tower I made. And, some house. I don't know, it's just a house. Can't really ask much from just a house. Basic house. But yeah, that's my entire Minecraft world. Thank you so much for watching till the end. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Goodbye.